This is an incredible victory, the Supreme Court win. It allows President Trump, as the law has long said, but the courts have blocked, it allows President Trump to send illegal aliens convicted of rape, murder, homicide, assault, battery, crimes against children to any country around the world that is willing to accept them.
That's right. So a Boston activist judge, court dude, says that he's above the law. And I think it's the left that was always like, Trump's a criminal. He breaks the law. He's such a bad man. And everything that's been thrown at Trump for lawfare has been handled in courts, and he's either won or lost. He takes the L's, he takes the wins. And there's been some times where you've really exercised the law, and it seems unethical, but it's lawful. And so, who's the criminal now? Let me show you this Boston judge, and we'll read a little bit about this. But this is what I'm talking about. This is projection. I'm tired of it, just like you guys are. Always being called something that they are. Watch this. So this U.S. District Court judge, pretty much just a low-hanging fruit. And my apologies for the volume being low. We've got some big fans running in the shop because it's really hot today, and so I've got to cut the volume down enough where you don't hear the fans in the back. So I know you're all going to fuss at me about not having the volume up high enough. So unless you want to hear a helicopter running, you might want to just kind of deal with this. So thank you very much, by the way. But this U.S. District Court Judge Brian Murphy on Monday evening defied the U.S. Supreme Court and said his order barring deportation of illegal aliens to South Sudan and other places. Let's go. Let's really dive into this here. So, it says here, he says, in the 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court on Monday allowed Trump administration to resume deporting legal aliens to third-party countries. The Supreme Court granted Trump administration's emergency application and paused Judge Brian Murphy's order blocking the third country removals. Liberal justices Sotomayor and Kagan and Jackson dissented. I guess they didn't want to weigh in on this, and in her dissent, they'd rather allow the lower court to colleagues to manage this high-stakes litigation with the care and attention it plainly requires. This court now intervenes to grant the government emergency relief from an order it has repeatedly defied. I cannot join so gross an abuse in court's equitable discretion. Last month, U.S. District Court Judge Brian Murphy, a Biden appointee, said that the Trump administration violated his order to provide the aliens with meaningful due process since they were being sent to third-party countries. And what this, by the way, has caused is a really chaotic situation where these illegals are being held in some really bad situations because of this judge. He's actually creating the problem that he's talking about. And he says, Judge Murphy said the U.S. must maintain custody of the dangerous aliens during the process. Judge Murphy also ordered the U.S. government to provide interpreters and counsel to the aliens during the interview. Trump fumed and said that because of the judge's orders, 8 of the most violent criminals on earth are currently being held in Dubai, a tiny country on the Horn of Africa next to Ethiopia, and the government does not even have a detention facility in Dubai, so 11 ICE agents are detaining the aliens in a conference room and a converted Connex shipping container on the U.S. naval base in Camp Lamanir in Dubai. On Monday evening, Judge Murphy ignored the U.S. Supreme Court and said that his orders remain in effect. So who's the criminal now? And, Stephen Miller's going to weigh in on this and tell us exactly what, not exactly, but he's going to say something about to happen, so check this out.
So whether that be South Sudan, or whether it be Somalia, or whether it be Ethiopia, any country in the world that is willing to accept these monsters, we can get them out of our country and be free of them forever. The only thing I have to share tonight, Sean, in a little bit of breaking news, is that the district court judge in Boston has said he's going to defy the Supreme Court's ruling. So expect fireworks tomorrow when we hold this judge accountable for refusing to obey the Supreme Court.
That's being spoken about today. So we've got tomorrow to weigh in on this. And the comment section is, what do you think is going to happen to this judge? I'll give you a little bit of insight of what I think. I don't think we're going to see arrests, but there'll probably be some form of reprimandal action to his authority. They have the ability to do that. Maybe they'll do. I don't know the exact details of what they can and can't do, but I just know that I doubt we'll see an arrest. But maybe we'll see some kind of disbarment or pull. His authority is going to be compromised, which will. I think this is what the judge is actually kind of going for, because he wants. This is the new tactic of the left. With that Jose guy that J.D. Vance called Jose, whatever that dude's name was. I know it's Jose now. That got arrested because he tried to come at Kristi Noem. He wanted to be arrested so he could be, the new martyr, and so did Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom was begging for that arrest so he could, I'm going to be like Trump and have my mugshot. Begging for it. So I think this is the new tactic, is to become like the arrested. A lot of the Portland anti-ICE people are being let out by activist judges. So it's in your best interest now to signal to your base. You've got activist judges in full force, ready and willing to jump and hopefully get arrested so that they can fulfill their dreams. It's like, what do you want in life? I want to be arrested in a case of herpes. You're like, what? You're like, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. So we'll see what happens. But this is, they always say Trump and the MAGA people they always be doing illegal stuff. And I'm like, no. It's you guys. All right. I'm out.